The stars glimmered cold and distant outside the massive window of the alien warship. Inside, the chamber was quiet, filled with tension. The humans had been brought here under heavy guard, their small shuttle docked tightly to the enormous hull. Every human heart pounded with fear, but none more than Lieutenant Arik. He had trained for years, but nothing could have prepared him for this moment. Commander Zorith, the alien leader, stood at the center of the chamber. He was enormous, with 4 muscular arms, greenish-blue skin that shimmered under the light, and eyes that glowed like molten gold. Every step he took made the floor vibrate. His armor gleamed, decorated with strange symbols that humans could not even begin to understand. Zorith laughed, a sound deep and sharp, like metal grinding against stone. It echoed across the chamber. "You call this a delegation?" he asked, his voice booming. "This fragile little human stands before me? Pathetic. You think you can negotiate? You think you can survive?" Arik's jaw tightened, but he did not speak. He did not need to. The alien commander's words cut like a blade, but Arik had learned long ago that fear was a tool, not a weakness. He studied Zorith quietly. The aliens had defeated thousands of other species. They were proud, strong, and confident in ways humans could hardly imagine. Yet Arik noticed small things: the way Zorith shifted his weight, the pattern in his steps, the brief pause before he struck. Zorith raised one arm, pointing at Arik. "You," he said. "Step forward. Show me what humans are worth. Show me your strength." Arik took a deep breath and stepped onto the polished floor. Every eye in the chamber followed him. Alien soldiers with 4 eyes, 6 arms, or strange twisting tentacles watched silently. Some of them smiled, confident that this human would fail. The humans behind Arik exchanged worried glances. "Do you think you can defeat me?" Zorith asked, circling slowly. His multiple arms flexed with power, each movement precise and deadly. "I have crushed entire armies without effort. You're nothing. Just a fragile little creature." "Nothing." Arik did not flinch. He could feel the heat of the alien commander's gaze. It was like being stared at by a sun. Yet beneath that fear there was a spark, something that had always set humans apart. It was determination, courage, and a refusal to give up, even when everything seemed impossible. "Do not be afraid, human," Zorith continued, laughing again. "I will enjoy this. You will be my example of weakness. All will see how fragile your kind is. And when I strike, you will fall." Arik remembered his training. He remembered the drills, the exercises, the long nights of running, punching, and learning to control his body. Humans were not the strongest, not the fastest, and certainly not the biggest. But they were clever. They could think, adapt, and fight in ways the aliens often did not expect. Arik flexed his fingers and waited. Zorith stepped closer, towering over Arik, his glowing eyes narrowing. "I want to see your courage. Show me your strength, or I will show you mine." The chamber felt smaller now. The air seemed thick with tension. Alien soldiers whispered among themselves, some mocking, some curious. None of them had ever seen a human face Zorith directly like this. Most would have bowed, screamed, or collapsed with fear. But Arik stood firm. He took another deep breath, feeling the weight of every human life he represented. The fate of his planet rested, in part, on this moment. If he failed, the aliens would likely destroy everything humans had built. If he succeeded, even in a small way, perhaps there was hope. Zorith laughed again, louder this time, a sound that shook the walls. "I will enjoy crushing you," he said. "Come. Show me what you can do." Arik clenched his fists, his knuckles white. His heart pounded, but not with fear. It was excitement, sharp and alive. He knew he was small, fragile even, compared to this monster. But inside he felt a strength that no alien could measure. Humans survived by thinking, by being brave when it mattered most. And he would show them that today. The chamber seemed to hold its breath. Every soldier, every diplomat, every observer waited. The moment had come. The alien commander was confident, cruel, and deadly, but he had never faced a human willing to risk everything in a single act of courage. Arik squared his shoulders and stepped forward. His eyes met Zorith's, unwavering. The laughter of the alien commander filled the chamber, but for the first time, Arik did not flinch. Somewhere deep inside he felt that even the smallest strike, the simplest move, could change everything. And in that quiet, tense moment, a storm was about to begin. A storm that would make the galaxy remember the name of one small human who refused to be weak. The training arena was unlike anything Arik had ever seen. It floated in the center of the alien ship, a circular platform that glowed with soft blue light. Around it, anti-gravity panels shimmered, and strange energy fields pulsed gently. From every angle alien eyes watched, waiting to see the human fail. The platform itself seemed fragile, suspended over a dark void that stretched into nothingness, as if one wrong move could send him falling forever. Arik stepped onto the glowing floor, his boots barely making a sound. His pulse raced but he focused. He had been trained for situations like this, but never against a creature like Zorith. Every movement the alien had made in the chamber replayed in Arik's mind. The pauses, the shifts of weight, the way Zorith's arms twisted before he struck. They were small, almost invisible, but Arik had noticed them. Zorith entered the arena last, his forearms moving with deadly grace. He stopped in the center and looked at Arik. "Humans think they can fight like us?" he said, his voice low and mocking. "You have no strength, no speed, no skill. I will enjoy showing you your place." Arik said nothing. Words would not help. The fight would be decided by action, by reflex, by courage. He flexed his fingers, feeling the pulse of energy around him, and scanned the alien's movements again. Zorith was powerful, yes, but he was predictable if one watched closely. Humans survived by noticing patterns, by seeing things others missed, and today that would be Arik's greatest weapon. The alien commander moved suddenly, spinning with 3 arms raised, striking the air. The platform beneath them trembled with each movement. Arik ducked, rolling to the side with a speed that startled even him. He landed softly, barely touching the glowing floor. Zorith's eyes flickered with surprise. Most humans would have been crushed instantly, yet this one moved with precision and calm. Arik remembered what his trainer had told him long ago: strength is not enough. You must think, adapt, and stay calm. One mistake and you are done, but one right move can change everything. He kept his mind clear, his senses sharp. Every breath, every heartbeat, every shift in Zorith's stance mattered. The alien commander laughed again, a low, grinding sound. "Not bad for a human," he said. "But you are still weak. Still fragile. One strike and you will fall." Arik did not respond. He studied Zorith, noting the way his arms moved in sets of 3s, the angle of his legs, the slight hesitation before he attacked. Most aliens relied on power, on overwhelming force, but humans had something different. Humans adapted. Humans could fight with mind and body together. And today that difference would be Arik's shield. Zorith lunged suddenly, 2 arms swinging in a wide arc. Arik rolled to the side, barely avoiding the strike. Sparks flew where the alien's claws scraped the glowing floor. He sprang up, landing in a defensive stance, eyes locked on the commander. The alien's movement was fast, but it followed a rhythm. Arik could predict the next strike. Humans had something no alien had ever fully mastered: patience under pressure. The other humans in the observation area held their breath. Many were pale, some trembling, but Arik felt a strange calm. This was what he had trained for. Fear was normal, but courage was choice. And he chose courage now. Zorith swung again, more aggressively this time. Arik dodged, countering with a small, precise strike to the alien's arm. It barely grazed the scales, but Zorith's surprise was clear. The alien had not expected a human to strike back even slightly. "Interesting," Zorith said, his glowing eyes narrowing. "You fight differently than I imagined. You are unpredictable, annoying even." Arik nodded slightly. That was all the recognition he needed. He felt the rhythm of the fight, the flow of movement. Zorith was strong, fast, and dangerous, but he relied on the same patterns over and over. And patterns could be broken. Humans were not predictable. Humans were clever, fast-thinking, and willing to risk everything when it mattered. The tension in the chamber grew. Every alien soldier and officer whispered among themselves. "The human is different," one said. "He moves strangely, cleverly." No one had expected that. They had expected fear, weakness, failure. Instead, they saw something they could not understand: a human's quiet focus, his calm under impossible pressure. Arik's body moved almost on its own, reacting, dodging, observing. He felt the weight of the moment. If he struck too soon, he could fail. If he waited too long, Zorith's power could crush him. He chose patience. One mistake could end him, but one perfect move could change everything. The alien commander's laughter echoed again, but this time there was tension in it. Zorith could feel that the human was not just surviving, he was thinking, learning, and adapting. The small soldier was standing firm, refusing to bow, refusing to be weak. Arik's fists clenched. He could sense the right moment approaching. Every heartbeat, every spark of movement from Zorith, told him when to act. The entire arena seemed to hold its breath. For the first time, even Zorith hesitated, just slightly. The human was not just fighting with his body, he was fighting with his mind. And that was something the aliens had never fully expected. The tension between them built like a storm, waiting for the moment to strike. And in that quiet, glowing arena, one small human stood ready to prove that even the weakest-looking fighter could change the course of everything, if he acted with courage, patience, and cleverness. The glowing platform trembled under Zoratha's weight as he stepped forward. His 4 arms moved in a blur, each one striking with deadly speed. Sparks flew where his claws scraped the glowing floor, and the air seemed to hum with energy. Arik steadied himself, eyes locked on the alien commander. Every movement mattered now. There was no turning back. Zorath lunged first, swinging 2 massive arms in a wide arc. Arik rolled to the side, narrowly avoiding the strike. The force of Zoratha's motion made the platform shake, and Arik felt the pull of gravity twist oddly beneath him. He sprang up, landing softly, heart racing, muscles tense. He could see the surprise flash in Zoratha's glowing eyes. The human was faster than expected. "You move differently than the others," Zorath growled, circling slowly. "Most would be flattened instantly. You annoy me." Arik didn't respond. Words could not stop Zorath, and no apology could make him weaker. He watched carefully, following the rhythm of the alien's movements. There was a pattern, small, subtle, almost invisible, but it was there. Every strike had a pause, every spin a slight hesitation. If he could find the right moment, one strike could change everything. Zorath attacked again, this time with all 4 arms. Arik ducked, rolled, and jumped, moving with a speed that startled even himself. The aliens watching gasped. None had seen a human move like this. Most humans would have collapsed, broken by the power and size of Zorath. But Arik adapted, using every trick he had learned: quick dodges, rolls, and precise counters. The platform vibrated with every strike, and Arik felt sweat running down his back. The energy fields around him flickered with each motion. It would have been terrifying if not for the focus that burned in his chest. Fear was there, yes, but it was a tool now, sharpening his senses, keeping him alert. He could feel the weight of the moment. One wrong move and he would fall. One perfect move and everything could change. Zoratha's laughter echoed again, but it was different this time. There was tension beneath it, a crack in his confidence. "You are faster than I imagined," he said, his voice low and dangerous. "But speed alone will not save you." Arik's eyes flicked to the alien's legs. He noticed a slight weakness in Zoratha's stance when he spun to attack with 2 arms at once. It was a tiny opening, but it could be used. Arik's fingers twitched. He had trained for this, not against aliens but against impossible odds. Humans were clever. Humans were unpredictable. And now he had the chance to show it. Zorath lunged again, arms swinging with deadly precision. Arik ducked, rolled, and jabbed toward Zoratha's side. It barely grazed the scales, but Zorath flinched slightly. The alien commander's eyes widened. He had not expected the human to strike back at all. The whispers from the alien soldiers grew louder. "The human, he fights differently." Arik felt a spark of hope. Not because he was strong but because he had seen a small opening. Zorath was powerful, yes, but his arrogance made him predictable. Humans could survive and even win by using their minds as much as their bodies. That was the difference. The alien commander swung with all 4 arms at once, faster than ever. Arik dodged, barely avoiding the strike. The wind from Zoratha's arms whipped past him, strong enough to knock a normal human off balance. But Arik held firm. He jumped, ducked, and spun, moving in ways Zorath could not predict. The chamber shook with tension. Every alien watching leaned forward. They had fought countless species, crushed countless warriors, but this human was different. He was clever, fast, and fearless. He was small, yes, but he had courage that no alien had ever fully understood. Arik could feel the right moment coming. Every heartbeat, every breath, every flick of Zoratha's arms told him when to act. He focused all his energy on patience, on waiting for the perfect strike. The platform beneath them flickered, the energy fields pulsed, and time seemed to stretch. Zorath roared, swinging with all his might. Arik rolled under one arm, sprang up, and landed perfectly in front of the alien commander. He clenched his fists, feeling every nerve in his body fire. This was it. One moment. One strike. One chance to show that humans were not weak, not fragile, and not to be underestimated. Zorath paused, sensing something in Arik's stance. For the first time, there was hesitation in his glowing eyes. The human was not running. The human was not afraid. The human was ready. And that made Zorath uncertain, something he had not felt in centuries of conquest. Arik's muscles tensed. He focused on the tiny gap he had noticed earlier. The opening was small but precise. A single strike, perfectly timed, could reach it. Every second stretched longer. The tension in the arena was electric. Every alien soldier, every human observer, every breath in the chamber seemed to stop. And in that quiet, tense moment, Arik moved. He shifted his weight, stepped forward, and prepared his fist. The storm of the fight had built to a single point, the moment when courage, skill, and determination would collide. He could feel it. This was the moment humans had survived for, small, clever, brave, and ready to face the impossible. The arena seemed to hold its breath. Every alien soldier, every human observer, and even the glowing energy of the platform itself waited. Zoratha's massive arms moved in deadly arcs, but his eyes flicked to Arik with something new, uncertainty. For the first time, the alien commander realized this human was not like the others. This human was unpredictable, clever, and fearless. Arik's heart pounded, but his mind was clear. He had trained for this. He had studied Zoratha's movements, learned the rhythm of his strikes, and waited for the single perfect moment. That moment was now. He could see a tiny gap, a weak spot under Zoratha's left arm just above the elbow. Most would not notice it, but Arik did. One precise strike there could bring the giant alien down. Zorath lunged with all four arms at once, faster and stronger than ever. Arik rolled to the side, narrowly avoiding the strike. Sparks flew where Zoratha's claws scraped the glowing floor, and the platform vibrated beneath their feet. The humans in the observation area gasped, some clutching their hands to their faces. The aliens whispered nervously, sensing something unusual. Arik kept his eyes on the opening. He moved with a quiet, confident rhythm, dodging and shifting. He was not afraid. He could feel the strength of the human spirit flowing through him, courage, determination, and cleverness all combined. The other species had relied on pure power, but humans had something different. They could survive, adapt, and fight in ways no one expected. Zorath roared, spinning in a wide circle, his four arms swinging in deadly arcs. Arik ducked and rolled, feeling the energy fields ripple beneath him. Each movement was precise, controlled, and calculated. He waited. He watched. He breathed. Every second brought him closer to the perfect strike. The giant alien attacked again, this time focusing his massive arms on Arik. One swipe could end the fight instantly. But Arik was ready. He leaped to the side, using the energy field to push himself higher, landing softly behind Zorath. For the first time, the commander felt hesitation. He turned slightly, his attention divided, his rhythm broken. Arik's muscles tensed. He took a deep breath, centering himself. He had one chance, one moment. The tiny gap he had studied was there, waiting. His fist moved faster than thought, straight, precise, and powerful. It connected. Zorath froze. The massive alien staggered, the impact hitting a pressure point he had overlooked. Shock rippled through his body. His arms flailed for balance. His glowing eyes widened in disbelief. The laughter that had filled the arena moments before died in his throat. The soldiers gasped. The humans whispered in awe. Arik stepped back, keeping his stance firm. His fists were ready if needed, but he did not strike again. He had done what he came to do. The giant alien commander was stunned, trembling slightly. Even his strength, unmatched across countless worlds, could not hide the surprise and pain of the blow. The silence in the chamber was heavy, broken only by Zoratha's labored breathing. He looked at Arik, his expression unreadable for a moment. Then slowly he straightened, trying to regain his composure. His golden eyes, once full of arrogance, now held something else, respect. And perhaps fear. You, Zorath said, his deep voice shaking. You are different. No human I have faced has ever moved like that. You, he stopped, struggling to find words, his pride wounded. You fight, cleverly. Arik nodded slightly. He did not gloat. There was no need. The fight was over, for now. What mattered was that the aliens had seen something they had never seen before. That humans, small and fragile in appearance, could be clever, fast, and brave enough to change the course of events with a single act. The alien soldiers murmured among themselves. Some could not believe what they had just witnessed. A human defeated him, one whispered. With one punch. Another nodded, eyes wide. Humans, they are dangerous in ways we cannot measure. Zoratha's gaze lingered on Arik. He was a giant, a warrior who had crushed armies and defeated thousands, yet a single human punch had shaken him. The realization hit him slowly but powerfully. Humans were not to be underestimated. They were not weak, fragile, or insignificant. They were clever, unpredictable, and full of courage. Arik straightened his shoulders. He could feel every eye in the arena on him, but he remained calm. He had not only survived, he had proven something far more important. That even the smallest, weakest-looking human could stand against the strongest alien, using mind, body, and heart together. The energy fields of the arena pulsed faintly as if acknowledging the moment. The platform seemed quieter now, less threatening. Zorith slowly lowered his arms, still shocked but no longer laughing. He had been defeated in an unexpected way, but he also recognized that it was not a failure, it was a lesson. The humans had a strength that no alien could ignore. Arik's eyes scanned the chamber. The humans behind him were staring in awe. They had seen it too. One human facing impossible odds had changed the atmosphere of the entire arena. One punch had done what years of fear, doubt, and struggle could not. It had shown the aliens that humans were special. Zorith finally spoke again, more quietly this time. You have changed something today. Perhaps more than you realize. He looked away for a moment, then back at Arik. I underestimated your kind. I will not make that mistake again. Arik felt a strange sense of calm wash over him. The fight was not over, there would be other battles, but this moment had already made history. One precise strike, guided by courage, determination, and intelligence, had shifted the balance. The humans were no longer just another weak species. They were beings to be respected, feared, and watched closely. And in that arena, with the stars shining far above and the aliens silently observing, a single human had done the impossible. One punch had changed everything. The arena was quiet now, almost impossibly quiet. The glow from the platform reflected off the alien walls, and even the energy field seemed to pulse slowly, as if acknowledging the moment that had just passed. Zorith, the mighty alien commander, still stood on the platform, his massive form trembling slightly. The arrogance in his eyes was gone, replaced by something he had never expected: respect. Arik straightened, his fists relaxed but ready. He felt every gaze on him, both alien and human. The humans whispered among themselves, amazed at what they had just witnessed. Some could not believe it. One small human had stood against the strongest alien warrior they had ever known, and had not just survived but changed the course of events with a single punch. Zorith slowly raised one arm, a gesture that surprised everyone. It was not a threat. It was not a challenge. It was a sign of acknowledgement. You, human, he said, his deep voice resonating through the chamber, you have shown something I did not believe possible. You have courage. You have cunning. You have strength I cannot measure with my eyes alone. Arik nodded, keeping his voice calm. Strength is not always measured by size or force, he said. It is also measured by will, determination, and knowing when to act. Zoritha's glowing eyes scanned the human delegation. Your kind has potential. A dangerous potential. His voice softened slightly, almost reluctantly. We have fought countless species. Most fall quickly, some resist for a short time. Humans are different. The alien soldiers murmured among themselves. Many looked confused, some uneasy. They had been taught to see humans as fragile, weak, and simple. They had expected fear, failure, and humiliation in the arena. Instead, they saw courage, strategy, and precision. One human had altered the mood of the entire ship, and the ripple of disbelief spread quickly through their ranks. Arik felt a small smile tug at the corner of his lips. He did not gloat. This was not a victory of pride, it was a lesson. Humans had survived against impossible odds before, and they would survive again. What mattered was that every alien in the room had seen it, and they could not unsee it. Zorith stepped down slightly from the platform, his arms lowered. I will not underestimate your kind again, he said firmly. Perhaps there is more to humans than we imagined. Perhaps your species deserves consideration. He paused as if weighing the word. Respect. The humans behind Arik let out a collective breath they had been holding. They had come expecting intimidation, perhaps even death. Instead, they witnessed something incredible. One of their own had proven that humans were clever, courageous, and unpredictable. One human had changed the opinion of an entire alien command. Arik turned and looked at the observers, then back at Zorith. We are not invincible, he said simply. But we will not be ignored. We will fight for our people, our homes, and our future. And we will never stop. Zorith nodded slowly, as if absorbing the weight of the statement. He had always believed that strength alone dictated outcomes, that power and size determined victory. Yet here was a human, small, seemingly fragile, who had shown that intelligence, timing, and courage could shift even the greatest balance of power. The alien soldiers looked at each other nervously. Some began to understand the message, Humans could not be predicted, could not be dismissed, and could not be controlled by fear alone. A small species, yes, but dangerous in ways that could not be measured in muscle or firepower. Arik stepped back from the center of the arena. He did not celebrate. The fight had been a lesson, and the lesson was clear. Humans could survive even against impossible odds. His gaze swept the chamber, lingering on the alien commander. Zoratha's posture had changed. His pride remained, but a new layer had formed, a recognition that humans were special. Outside the arena, the human delegation breathed more easily. They had been terrified, unsure of what would happen in the presence of the alien commander. But now they saw hope. One human had faced the impossible and survived. One human had shown that courage and cleverness could triumph where brute force alone might fail. Zorath turned to his officers, speaking quietly, but so that every human could hear. "We must reconsider our approach," he said. "Humans are not a species to underestimate. They are different. Dangerous, yes, but also remarkable." Arik felt a strange sense of pride, not for himself but for what humans represented. The galaxy had long seen humans as weak, insignificant, and fragile. Now, even here on a distant alien warship, that perception had shifted. One small human had done what no other species had, forced respect from the strongest alien commander in the galaxy. The energy of the arena seemed to settle. The glow of the platform was steady now, as if acknowledging that the fight had ended, not in destruction but in understanding. Humans had made their mark. One small human had shown that courage, determination, and intelligence could overcome even the mightiest opponent. Arik looked up at the stars outside the chamber window. He thought of his home planet, of the people who depended on him, and of the challenges that still lay ahead. One punch had changed the moment, but the future was still a battlefield. Yet now he knew humans could face it. Zoratha's voice echoed one final time, steady and clear. "The galaxy will not forget this day," he said. "Nor will it forget the humans." And in that quiet chamber, a small human had not only survived but had changed the way an entire species saw the universe. One punch had done more than injure a commander, it had altered the balance of perception, proving that even the smallest, weakest-looking human could leave an impact that would echo across the stars.